Just having some breakfast as usual. Woo. Anyway, welcome to Princess Cruise News Live with Michelle. I am a travel agent, certified princess certified expert, and recently a certified cruise counselor as well. Got that certification. Man, lot with that, but I did it. And because I specialized in cruises, it made sense to get that certification. Anyway, also we are planning a group cruise for, hello Carla, planning a group cruise for 2026 to Alaska. So if you're interested in that, I have links in my community tab to join the mailing list for that. We don't have exact dates yet, as Princess has not announced when those are coming out, but anyway, that's kind of that. So welcome. Today I actually want to talk about Celebration Key, which is not Princess, but I've noticed a lot of people questioning whether or not Princess will go there. So in case you don't know, Celebration Key is the new private island area. Not sure if it's being built on their current private island, Half Moon Key, or if they are making a whole new island. I'm thinking they're making a whole new island, but I haven't, honestly, I'm not Carnival, so I don't look into stuff like that. But anyway, I know a little bit about it. And basically they're trying to compete with Perfect Day at Coco Key by Royal Caribbean, which we have been to. And we've been to Princess Key, or I've been to Princess Key, and we are going there twice in, well, once in 2024 and once in 2025, technically. We're going there twice in a back-to-back cruise. Anyway, we actually just booked a cabana for Princess Key. Oh, don't bite my fingers. Because their cabanas are reasonably cheap, reasonably priced, in comparison to Royals. Princesses were, hello Ruth. Ruth says, hello Michelle and Emrys, hope you're both okay. Yes, we are. We've had some illnesses going on. My brother is currently not feeling super great. We're currently having a snowstorm. But beyond that, we're good. How are you guys doing? Anyway, so the cabana on Princess Key was $229 US. Whereas Royal, because we're going on Royal to Perfect Day in August, and $1,700 US. $1,699 US to rent a cabana at Perfect Day versus $230 for Princess. So we rented a cabana. Super excited for that. Really, really excited to check it out. We are going there again a second time during that cruise, but we're like, you know what? We're just gonna go have the cabana day the first day, and then the second day we can decide if we want to get off the ship, because it is a tender port, which is a little bit of a thing with my daughter. But with Princess, we actually, with the cabana, we get priority tender on that day, but because I am elite, I get, for a cabana, people pay for that for a day. Yeah, people will pay $1,700 for one day in a cabana. I'm like, that's ridiculous. And it's per 4 people. So for us to pay for $230 for 3 of us for the day, it's like crazy. And even their beach beds, Royal has these beach beds, and they used to be like $199, and now, because people pay for it, Royal has been slowly upping their prices, or sometimes not so slowly upping their prices, and now it's $400 to rent a bed on the beach. I mean, you get like water bottles and extra service and stuff, but still, like, are you kidding me? Anyway, so yeah, so with the cabana, we get priority tender on the day that we go there, and then but because I'm elite status, crickety, that's expensive. We are doing okay. Usual British weather here, wet, gray, and windy. We are gonna get to the British Isles. We are. So because I'm elite status, we'll actually get priority tender on the second day we go to Perfect Day, or not Perfect Day, Princess Key as well. My daughter's bottle. I really need to do dishes. Anyway. And she's having a bun for breakfast because that's all she wants to eat. But whatever, we're rolling with it. If you don't follow my other stuff, my daughter's getting her feeding tube out. So our next cruise will be tubeless, which is weird. Anyway, Celebration Key, that's what you're here for. Let's talk about it. So it seems like Carnival is trying to compete. You so should. It's not always horrible weather. I know it's not always horrible weather, especially summer seems better than winter. Oh, we're doing that. So Celebration Key, Carnival is trying to compete with Royal, which I totally get, them trying to do it. It'll be very interesting to see what they charge for, because Royal charges like crazy. You have to pay to go in their water park. You have to pay to go, there's some free food, but there's other pay food. Like I said, you got to pay for umbrellas and stuff like that. And I mean, most, like even Princess, you do have to pay for some of that stuff, cabanas and whatnot, but like their prices are more reasonable. But with Royal, it seems like more and more things are becoming super expensive because people are willing to pay it. So supply and demand and what people are willing to pay. If Royal's like, oh, we are selling out of cabanas every single time we visit there at $1,700, we can obviously keep it at $1,700. But I just think that's ridiculous. From what I've seen of Celebration Key, and thank you, Carnival, for calling it K-E-Y, Key, because C-A-Y is also pronounced Key by locals. And I think Royal did a really stupid job by calling it Perfect Day at Coco Key, because they spell it C-A-Y, but everyone pronounces it K, which is not the proper pronunciation. Even their staff, their crew, are calling it K a lot of the time. They flip between K and Key. But it's like, if you want something pronounced the way it should be pronounced, you kind of can't rhyme day with key. So anyway, thank you, Carnival, for actually calling it Celebration Key, K-E-Y, so there's no mispronunciation. But then maybe locals are mad because it's technically C-A-Y, but they've named it K-E-Y. Anyway, I don't care about that. I'm just happy that people are going to actually say it right, and I don't have to like be like, actually. So anyway, so I lost my train of thought, which is typical. So it'll be interesting to see what Carnival charges for things. Looking at what I've seen, there's a lot of, like, there's a big pool, there's an adult-only pool. The big area is huge. Like, I saw someone comment jokingly that, like, you're going to be able to see it from space. There's water slides and stuff like that. But where the water slides, it looks like it's kind of part of everything, but maybe I'm wrong. So it'll be really interesting to see what exactly they charge for and what their prices are like, because back in the day, Carnival was cheap. Carnival was the cheap cruise line that you can get for like $2.99 for a week, and that's kind of what everyone expected from them. And now their prices are very comparable to some of the other cruise lines. Like, I wouldn't say Royal is still expensive in comparison for some cruises, depending on when you want to go. But Royal for big ships and new ships. But like then you have like the Carnival Mardi Gras, which is their biggest ship, I believe. Could be wrong. I don't know Carnival very well. But that ship is not cheap. Like, I don't know. And I think of like Perfect Day when you have an Icon class ship now with 7,600 passengers, and you have, say, an Oasis class ship with 6,000 passengers on that private island. It's a lot of people. Anyway, so where we are, Celebration Key. I'm sorry if you are new to my channel. This is my lives. My lives are disjointed. Subscribe for like more organized videos though. I do, I ramble less with those. But Celebration Key, I've heard lots of things about people asking about, will Princess go there? So if you don't know, Princess is owned by the Carnival Corporation. They're the same company. It's quite interesting because as a travel agent, a lot of the times when I log into like one company, I can see all the other companies. So like if I log into the login for Royal, I can also access, say, Celebrity. But they have it kind of broken down with Carnival. So Carnival is its own little bubble. If I'm booking a Carnival cruise, I go directly to Carnival. And then Princess, Holland America, Cunard, and Seabourn are in a different bubble. I think it's mostly because Carnival, and then you have Princess, Holland America, Cunard, and Seabourn, they are much of a different clientele than Carnival. And I think that's where we are going to see them not visiting there. It'll be interesting with Holland America, because Holland America does go to Half Moon Cay, which is Carnival's current private island. So if they are building a new island, which is not building the island, but building a new private destination, which is what I think they're doing, I wouldn't be surprised if Half Moon Cay became just for like Holland America. whereas this Celebration Key will be just for Carnival, and then you have Princess Key for Princess. I do not see Princess going to Celebration Key at all. One, I believe they're going to probably do what Royal has done and raise the prices of the cruises that go there. So any cruise that goes to Perfect Day is more expensive than a cruise that doesn't go there. We looked out the two cruises, the one that we've already taken and the one that we will be taking, that have gone there have been really good prices. I think part of that is because of the other ports kind of lacking, and the departure port, like we departed from New Jersey last time, and we didn't really have that many stops. And then our one in August, I think honestly that deal was timing. I book my cruises the day they come out or the day after they come out, but I try to book it the day out that it comes out. And so we got a great deal on it. We got an ocean view for that one because the ocean view was actually cheaper than an interior. So we've never done an ocean view before because I am budget friendly in my own travel. Allows me to travel more often if I can travel cheaper. So we got actually a really good price on that, and that one goes to Perfect Day as well. But most of the cruises that go to Perfect Day are more money. So I can see Carnival upping that price, and I have not looked into the Carnival prices for the cruises that are going to there, but maybe like I said, I don't book Carnival very often for clients, and usually the clients that I'm booking for, they've come in and they're like, I want this Carnival cruise on this Carnival day, because they know they like Carnival. Whereas when clients come in and they're like, I'm looking to book a cruise, and I kind of work it through with what they want, I rarely book Carnival, because I will book Royal Caribbean over Carnival for, like, say, a family. I just don't think Carnival has the best reputation, and when I'm trying to, especially with first-time cruisers, trying to get them having the best experience possible, Royal delivers on that way better than Carnival does. Anyway, Princess going to go to Celebration Key, like 12 minutes in. So I do not think Princess will go to this island. I think Princess will continue to go to Princess Key. And I think that's mostly just because of demographic. I do not think that Celebration Key is targeting the Princess crowd. I know Princess is doing some stuff with, like, the Sun Princess and what that if you've seen my Sun Princess video, you know I'm not a huge fan of the whole skywalk ropes course thing. Not a fan of that. But I think for the most part, Princess is still trying to target the crowd of slightly older. I believe their current promotion demographic is like 40s and 50s plus, people that want a little bit of adventure, but are more destination focused than ship focused, and also just not theme parks. And that's my biggest thing. When I go on a cruise, I do not want to go to a theme park. I go cruising to relax or to explore nature or to explore destinations. I do not go on a cruise ship to go to a theme park. If I wanted to do that, I would just go to Disney World. And that's what I feel like Royal is becoming. And Norwegian, I feel, is doing the same, and Carnival's doing the same. Some of these, like, family cruise lines are becoming theme parks, amusement parks, and that's just not who I think Princess is, and it's not who I am. And that's why I prefer Princess these days, because Royal back in the day, when I first sailed with them, they were starting to get new ships. Like Oasis was a new ship at the time, but they were not like crazy stuff. Like the cruise ship we were on, I don't even think had a water slide. I could be wrong, maybe it did, but it just wasn't. It wasn't big on stuff. Hello, 1.5 times speed, now caught up. Well, I'm talking at about 1.5 times speed, Bridie. Welcome. But anyway, ow, don't scratch me. Her nails need to be cut. She's like digging into my arm. Do you want some juice? Take a breath. This is why I'm not very good at the lives, because I can't like reel myself in very well, but it at least gets my thoughts out in a rambly way. Don't spit it up. So I don't think Princess will go there because it's not their demographic. And honestly, if I was booked on a Princess ship, I would not book a Princess ship that went there, because I do not want to go there. Nope. I won't even book any more that go to Perfect Day. The only reason I have the current one was because I'm traveling with someone else, and I was supposed to travel with someone else who wanted to go there. But I won't even go there anymore. Give me Princess Key where I can rent a cabana for $230 and just chill for the day. I don't have to wait in giant lines. I don't have to fight crowds. I don't have to deal with like the obnoxious drinking and all that stuff. Nuh-uh, not for me. So if Princess ever did decide to go there, I think a lot of people would be upset. Especially, for instance, like I cruise with Princess because I like their demographic. Like who on the ship with me, I enjoy being with that demographic of people. I do not want to go on Carnival. I did book at Carnival once and then I canceled it because I was like, I am not that person. What were you thinking, Michelle? So it's just not who I want. So if we went to Celebration Key and there was a Princess ship and there was a Carnival ship, and I just don't think Princess is gonna do that because like they're very different demographics, and I would be so mad to get to a private island and have to deal with the people that are on the Carnival ship. And I bet you any money the people on the Carnival ship do not want to deal with the demographic that are on the Princess ship. They're just totally different groups of people. So Princess, though, I feel like can up their thing. I'm curious, actually, you cruise so often, do you end up recognizing staff or even guests from previous trips? No, because we do not cruise, we haven't cruised like the same line and same ship, give and not give. Yeah, I knew what you meant. So I think, for instance, like if we went back on the Crown Princess right now, we would probably recognize staff. Oasis, no way. Oasis was way too big of a ship. We didn't even have like the same staff. Like other than our wait staff, I probably could recognize them. But other than our wait staff, we didn't even see the same people very often. We tend to see sometimes of the same guests, but in terms of like seeing regular people, Oasis was not that. Even Navigator was slightly better being a smaller ship, but that's one of the reasons I don't like these big ships. It feels so impersonal. It feels like you're just like this number on the ship, which you are. So like the Icon, people like being like, yeah, the Icon. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Never in a million years. We've watched a ton of videos on it because as a travel agent, I feel like it's important for me to know this stuff, especially because Royal is a line that I book often. But it's like, I just can't because I like the personal service. I like feeling like a human being, not cattle. So no, we don't from cruise to cruise because also we've been bouncing between Royal and Princess, although we have a couple of Royal coming up. We also bounce between itineraries. Don't you dare spit out your juice. She stole her juice from my hands. And nope, don't spit it out. Nope, all done then. You're all wet now and you need a bath. You are like a mess. I think if we were consistently cruising one line and if we went repeat on the same ship, then yes, we definitely would run into the same staff, especially because the staff usually do like a 6-month or a 1-year contract, but they often will renew. So like that's where it's like if we went back on the Crown Princess right now, guaranteed I would recognize some of the staff because just we had better relationships with those. Navigator maybe. In terms of other guests, it's kind of different because it's like, unless we watch them on social media, like there's certain people that we watch for Princess content, Princess food content specifically. And if I ran into them on the ship, I totally would know who they are because we've watched so much of them. They don't vlog, they just do food stuff. So if you're interested in Princess food, code 4 for life. They are very casual, we'll put it that way, very casual, but have a lot of food stuff. And travel tourist videos, I think is the other one we watch. They have a variety of different ones, but they are like mostly food videos. So I don't do food videos, maybe I should, but those are ones that we watch for food. You're scratching at my arm. Do you want out? I don't really want to let you out. I'm still live and you are a disaster right now. Anyway, no, I think if we cruise more often and we cruise more consistently with one ship or one line, like as we get more with Princess, but we're actually cutting down how often we cruise because we want to cruise longer. So with us cruising so often but doing shorter, like 1 to 2 week cruises, isn't super great in terms of flights and just stuff like pre-cruise hotels, because we always fly in early. Stuff like parking my car, I get discounts the longer I'm there. It's just, and then it's just like the logistics of like getting to the airport, because we're not local to Calgary. We do have to drive there. Hi Brandy, glad you could join the chat. Stuff like getting my dog to dog boarding, like things like that, is just, the logistics of that is harder. So we've actually said no more 7-day cruises. We knew that after we did our 11-day cruise, we knew we were not doing any more 7 days, not booking anymore. And I just took a 7-day at Christmas time, and it was like way too short. So the only other shorter cruises we have right now, I have an 8-day in August, but I'm cruising with someone else who 8 days is probably more than enough. It's her first cruise, good taste of cruising. So like for a lot of people, they only want 7 days. So if I'm cruising with other people, like our group cruise will be a 7-day cruise. I already know it's only gonna be a 7-day cruise, just because it's, for most people that's enough. But for us, it's not, especially once we start doing international stuff. Like we're going to Amsterdam for our Norway cruise, and our Norway cruise is only 13 nights. And the cost of the flights is actually comparable to the cost of the cruise. And so we prefer that 21-day plus. So right now with my current work situation, the way it is, we are doing longer cruises, but we are only going to be doing probably one cruise a year, but a 3 to 4 week cruise, because it's just logistics. Once I can leave my current employer, that's a different story. We are hoping to do maybe 2 3-week cruises a year, or more depending on the situation and where finances are and what's not. So because if I can cruise outside of summertime, you can get cruises for so much cheaper. Like even I was just looking at one that was like 32 days for like $3,000. Like you can get under $100 a day once you get off season for stuff. So stuff like that will matter more. Hotels off season are cheaper. All that stuff. So we would be able to cruise more often in that case. And also just like having the freedom to cruise, doing some of those last minute deals. Not that Princess is really great at last minute deals, especially when you're trying to get 3 people in a cabin. But there are last minute stuff that you can get. Even stuff like for travel agent stuff, like I potentially could get a free I think it's 3 or 4 day cruise with Princess on the Sun Princess through travel agent stuff right now. But it's in October, and I can't even do it. So like stuff like that, where it's like what we would do then is we would do the free cruise and then tack on some of our own cruises on top of that, because if I'm paying for flights anyway, if I'm being reimbursed for travel from like as my business is like claiming, not being reimbursed, but claiming it on taxes and stuff as a travel expense, business related, then some of that stuff makes sense to just tack on other cruises. But yeah, so I have no clue where I was going with that. Oh yeah, so like I feel like we probably won't run into people. We don't run into the same people, but staff, if we cruise on the same ships, like even like, okay, maybe not the Crown, because it's going to be like 3 years after, but potentially when we go back on the Crown, if we go back on the Crown in 2026, potentially we could potentially see the same people. Even stuff like, I have a bunch of clients going on Ruby. Ruby is doing some cool stuff these days, going to Hawaii, doing California coast, and doing Alaska. So if Ruby ends up to be our messy hair, you don't care. Ruby ends up being our group cruise ship. Potentially, if some of these clients go on a group cruise with us, and they've sailed with California coast and Hawaii and stuff, potentially they might know some of the staff just because they've been on that ship recently. Hi. Oh my gosh, your hair is something else. Do you see yourself? Say, I'm getting my tube out. Like 2 more weeks. Your doctor actually said I could take it off. Bridie says, hi, beautiful lady. I know she's talking about you. This kid deserves to see the world, don't you? Our Mediterranean one, I think I talked about it, but our Mediterranean one, Venice is no longer doing. Lou says she's so cute. Love the bed hair. Yep, that's what we got in the morning. Our Mediterranean one was supposed to go from Venice, but because Venice has closed its port to large cruise ships, or like limiting large cruise ships, the sun can no longer go there. So they've actually switched to Istanbul, Turkey, and so we actually are adding another country, because Turkey is a country, and then also they added a stop in, like Istanbul's a weird one because it's half in Europe, half in Asia, and so we could go to Asia pre-cruise, but they actually go to a different port in Turkey later on that's actually completely in Asia. So we will be hitting up 2 continents that trip, plus 7 countries in 21 days. So pretty darn good way to see the world. I would love to tack on more. Like we could start in Athens, Greece, and then do more of Greece to some really cool ports. Like we're already going to Santorini and Crete, I think is what you say it. I don't know. But then there's like going to Athens, Mykonos, a bunch of other Greek ports that I would love to do, but the prices have kind of gone up. So yeah. Anyway, there's also. No, get off the table. Oh my gosh, I might have to go because she's now climbing on the table. What was I gonna say? If I had the time off work, we could actually start in Barcelona and do the Barcelona part that ends in Athens, then do the Athens part that ends in Turkey now, and then do the cruise that we're booked on. And our room is still available for that too. We could do that, but it's expensive, and also then I don't have the time. It starts before I. Just throwing things on the floor. Starts before I am off work. I shouldn't have let her out. I let out the beast, and now she's wild. Sorry, I gotta go. We'll catch up soon. Yeah, I'm gonna go too because she's like wild now. Anyway, Princess will not hopefully go to Celebration Key. Princess will hopefully just stick with Princess Key. I will say I would like Princess to add a pool that babies with swim diapers can go into. They have like a tiny little splash pool thing for kids that they take the kids into, but kids in swim diapers cannot go in it, which basically means my daughter has no pool to swim in. We have to brave the ocean. So Ruth says, bye everyone. Bye Ruth. Bye Bryony. Bye all the other people that are just lurking in the distance. And I will see you guys next week. Have fun. Have a good week. Enjoy whatever your weather is. Oh, Emerus, a wild child. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye. I never can figure out where to exit. Is this the exit? Yes.